Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today. Before I start, can I just say thank you to everybody who has commented recently. It's always nice for me to read what's in your heads. It's really, most of the time they just make me laugh, to be honest, most of them. If you enjoy the videos, please don't forget to subscribe or check out my Patreon, because sometimes, I don't know who's out there or who's looking at them, or if anybody is. Well, I know people are looking at them, but that would be lovely if you fancy it. You have got 3 choices, and today's question is, why did this person come into your life? You have got toucan, snail and house. So if you want to take your choice, then we'll get going. Okay, I honestly haven't looked at these properly, but I have got a very strong feeling before I start. This is like a glass of water after tramping through the desert to me. It feels like this person is like a breath of fresh air. It feels almost like they've sort of revitalized you in some way and got you feeling young again, got you feeling attractive again. It's like a whole change of, to me, it could be any scenario in the past. There's a feeling here of possibly a relationship that you've had that has been hard, like your second marriage type of thing, or an early boyfriend or girlfriend in some way that has not been very good for your self-confidence. Then this person comes into your life and it just feels right. It feels equal, it feels steady, and it's off to a good start. That's what it feels like. It feels like your person is bringing you out of your shell in some way. After what I'm guessing, and I'll explain why I'm saying this, a feeling of, it honestly feels like putting sandpaper in your mouth and pushing it back and forward for like 10 years, that sort of, and then you meet this person, it just seems to start flowing and you can be yourself. You possibly in past relationships have tried to be somebody else to please somebody else, and the Lovers card and Justice and the Page of Wands, it's like off to a new beginning where it's equal. It's like the balance is there, the attraction's there, the love's there. You don't have to pretend, you don't have to be defensive. I'll show you the cards and I'll tell you why I'm saying this. You've got at the beginning like a celebration, and you've got what I'm thinking a very restrictive feel here with the 4 of Pentacles. Behind you, you've got the Death, and once again a very sort of a bruised, defensive look, and a situation that's ended. What's coming into play with regards to this person and why they're in your life, you've got Justice and the Lovers. So that to me, both of those they're a pair, if you know what I mean. They're a pair. It's like a sycamore. What are those things that come out of the tree? A sycamore thing, like walnuts, one half, the other half. It feels like you're both very similar. Yeah, it does. It feels like you're both from the same pod in some way, where you may have recognized this person because their likes are your likes, or they look like you, the same shaped face, the shape, the same sort of. I've said this before in other readings. There used to be a book. I always wanted this book, and I can't remember if I've actually made this up or whether it actually had it. It's probably bits I found out, where it was Love at First Sight, I think it was called, and it was looking at Prince Charles and how the eye line and the lip line, and I don't know if it was the shape of the face, but how people are drawn to the face that's most important to them when they're younger, like their mother's face, and it's replicated in their partner's face. And they put Camilla with Prince Charles' nanny. It wasn't the Queen, it was the similarity between their faces, and there was a bit with the Beckhams, both their lip line and their eye line, the way that that whether it's like a hooded lid or I don't know what I'm thinking. Although I do remember George Clooney coming over to Britain. Why am I talking about George Clooney? And he was saying, we have got Carol Vorderman on it's like a quiz program, with a maths quiz program, and he was saying how attractive she was. And I'm thinking, look at your mum's eyebrow line. It was that type of thing. It's obviously something that he finds familiar and then he finds attractive. which is often the case because we fall for people that look like past boyfriends or girlfriends, don't we? So anyway, this is a feeling of falling for somebody. This person has come into your life and you have possibly fallen for them and vice versa. And it feels right because this person does honestly feel like they are part of your pod. There has been, what I'm guessing here, a history or either a distance between one partner to this partner where you've actually been lying low, but it doesn't feel like you've been lying low and self-satisfied. It feels like you've had enough of relationships. This person comes into your life and it's not like a bulldozer, but it's like it's direct and it's obvious and there's no playing around and it feels like fun. It feels like fun. It feels like you've got the Sun card here for the situation surrounding, sorry, for hopes and fears. And you've got death behind. You know, they're quite polar opposites in some way. The death is, yeah, the Sun coming out after it's almost like the Judgment card, isn't it here? It's like rolling back the stone. It is, honestly. It feels like a rebirth sort of power, this one. And this is how your person's coming across, the caution card. You're coming across as the Seven of Swords. Either you've both been in what I would say quite destructive relationships or relationships that haven't brought the best out of you. There is a different scenario here where you could possibly already have a partner or one of you has a partner. But there's a feeling here of quite a spiritual bond. I was looking at somebody's astrology today who came for a few readings a while back. And astrologically, their charts are like north nodes are joined in some way where it's reciprocated, like Sun on north node on one person and the same on the other. So it feels like somebody's lighting the path. So there's a big attraction there that this person is meant to be in their life. And this feels like that. But that, you know, there's lots going on in between and they just can't happen, and the subsequent spreads have sort of said, you know, this is difficult, but sometimes that does happen. Sometimes people come into our lives and it's part of a triangle. You know, it could be even more than that, but it's part of a triangle, and this may have happened lifetime after lifetime after lifetime where there's three of you. And it's almost like you're learning all these different skills to either wait, to you don't have to hold to have, you know, that I made that up. You don't, you know, it's that type of lesson, because once we fall in love, we want that person to ourselves, don't we? Unless you're Sagittarius or polyamorous. I've learned that word since I've been on this channel. But it feels to me, you've got the High Priestess here and the ninth house. It's like recognition of your soul tribe here. It's like recognizing somebody that's come into your life to make your life easier. It feels like, you know, the plaster over the sore type of thing. The Three of Swords and the Judgment card is very much this feeling of the death and the sun, and it does make you think of, I am trying to think of old RE lessons in school where this isn't going to be very good. Well, what's the stone? There's like something about the stone that's pulled back and Jesus. Yeah, I can't remember. But it does feel like that. It feels like resurrection. It feels like, you know, dark night of the soul. This person comes in. It feels right. It feels good. It feels like you're going in the right direction. It doesn't feel like you're questioning this one too much with regards to the person. There's a possibility here with the Seven of Swords and the caution. If this is still like a situation that's still living at the moment, as in it's still moving, you could be in a situation that's difficult to be with this person. But because the Page of Wands bats down the Justice and the Lovers here, big cards, major arcana, then goes to the Page of Wands. Still positive, still moving forward, but it's small steps. Or it could just be you've just met this person. Lots of different scenarios, but this is a really positive spread. So why has this person come into your life? It feels like a friend lover. It does feel like a friend lover. Somebody asked me the other day, do my family know that I talk about them in my astrology readings, in my tarot readings? And yeah, they've ignored me for years, so I don't think they're really that interested. But this to me feels like, I'll say this quickly because it is, I'm just trying to make it easy for you to understand. My mum and my dad, total opposite, stayed together, brought us all up, painful. not total opposites, but very different. And then Dad left and met somebody who was his ideal person, totally different from the rest of the family. But my dad is quite different from the rest of the family, you know, ideal person. And that is like a breath of fresh air after a struggle. This is what this feels like. But it does feel either both of you have been hurt in the past, and it's some way, it feels like a spiritual balm in some way. With that ninth house and the caution and the seven of swords there, it's almost like somebody soothing you because you've struggled. I remember going to a psychic years and years ago. I was in my 20s, and I don't know if it was a he or she, but I remember the words were, this is like a period of calm because of, I don't know if it's what you've been through, I honestly can't remember, or something that's coming, but I kind of thinking, what a weird thing to say. As if you allowed breathers, as if, you know, you have your lessons, but it's almost like you've got to recoup yourself. This feels like this person's coming to your life. You probably already started recouping yourself in some way from either self-sabotaging something or a relationship in the past that hasn't worked, because there's a feeling here of defensiveness. I suppose I'm blaming this defensiveness on somebody else. You know, this sort of defensiveness, this is you on somebody else. Doesn't have to be. It could be just the way that you relate to people. You know, you could just have those sort of defensive qualities. It could be Saturn there. You know, Saturn can be carried down in families. Often, you know, where you don't feel as if you're lovable. You know, Saturn contacts to Venus or Moon, or anything really. It just makes you feel as if you're a bit dry or raw or not sweet or not lovable. If there's too many of those contacts, or they're extreme contacts, or they're extremely strong, you know, that could be part of it there. And the ninth house is very much a feeling of the sun coming out. It is the sun coming out. It's like a Jupiter transit when you've been having a tough time. And you can actually feel Jupiter transits. You can go on your mundane life. And I often say travelling is one of the best things for pulling you out of your comfort zone. And you know, say you went abroad and you had a Jupiter transit, you know, your trip abroad or that particular time in your life is full of outgoing people and optimism and sport and sunshine and having fun and, you know, learning things. This is what this feels like. It feels like you've been on, this person's come into your life, you've been doing the everyday chores of going to work, cleaning the house, you know, being a nice neighbour, cleaning the car, you know, looking after mum or looking after dad, and, you know, that's depending on your age, or looking after your kids, or just showing up to school and doing what you're meant to be doing and being, you know, generally a good citizen. And then it feels as if you need a little bit more. This person comes in and you start releasing yourself, you start enjoying yourself, because the Justice and the Lovers card here, it feels right. Now, Lovers and Justice together, and this positions particularly with the Sun here, is like, it feels like welcome home. It does, honestly. It feels like, you know, this person saying welcome home. It wouldn't surprise me whether you two recognise each other straight away, and it wouldn't surprise me whether you know, you sort of have the same mannerisms, or dress the same, or have similar shaped faces, or similar ways that you dress is probably the thing I'm thinking of there. I know we love playing this game. You know, when you're looking at couples and we like couples that look like each other. You even see them on TV. You know, you get those programs like the house buying program, and they're sat on the couch, and we're like, oh my God, they're the same person. This feels like that pile. And it just feels like it's off to a good start. And you have got really sort of spiritual but painful lessons, which I'm assuming, to the fact you've got the Death and the Nine of Wands behind you, that you've been through. This is like Sleeping Beauty pile. This is somebody that's crept into your room and kissed you, and you've been asleep and you've been having a nightmare for quite a while. You know, this person's hacked down those brambles and come to you just at the time that you need it, and it's like, you know, it's like a fresh new start. this, I think, at a deeper level, as not just this person's come to light up your life and make you feel young and make you feel alive. And there's something here as well of spiritual respite. It is honestly a feeling here, the ninth house and these hard cards, of a period in your life where you deserve to just enjoy yourself, to not question it too much, to not think what will the neighbours say, or anything like that, or is this person too young for me, is this person too old, what will, any of those questions where you outside yourself. It's like the ninth house there is like, forget it. If this person makes you feel good, this is the right person for you at this very moment. Enjoy it. Even if it's like, just starting off, just enjoy it. It's calling on you to, look at your, the sun card there and the lovers is like, release yourself and enjoy yourself as you would, as if you were two kids that are meeting. When you think in all these sort of silly airs we put on as we get older, and we try and look as if we're competent, and we try and look as if we're controlled. You watch kids playing, and it's just beautiful when they're really young. Not all kids, but the vast majority. They just are what they are. Some are loud, some are stiff, but they just are what they are, and there's no pretenses. I've actually seen probably one or two kids I can see holding back. And I keep thinking, you're quite young for that. You don't want to grow into that. That's just something you don't need. This person is here to bring back your spontaneity and your innocence back. And it's like a passion life again. It's more than just an attraction here. The Lovers card, there has to be a strong attraction there. There's something there in you almost revitalising that and feeling attracted to somebody. You meet so many people in your life. How many people are you actually really attracted to? Physically attracted? Loads. Absolutely loads. But there is honestly that feeling there, the Lovers there and the Justice card there, of like a it's like magnetism, but it's equal. Where everything's weighed up. There's not one fancies the other one more than the other, if that makes sense. It's like it's equal, it's there. You probably, like you have those, I was reading this the other day, I don't even know what it was on, I can't remember, like scales where some people are more attractive and in a sexist way, men are often seem to be more attractive if they have money. This is old fashioned. I don't know if this still applies, to be honest. And women with regards to beauty, this is probably very old fashioned, but there, that's how it used to be. This to me feels like, regardless of what, you've been reading Woman's Weekly and that's the scale, this feels like it's just equal. There's no question, and it doesn't actually feel like it, it is in reality equal, and it doesn't have to be. It's a case that you've got to the point where neither of you care what anybody else thinks. It's just equal, it's nice. You could even have that feeling of two people that actually are quite different, and you don't care. One more story before I go that makes me think of this one. We grew up by the beach, and there was a couple on the beach. I'm trying to get this right because my memory, as you can probably know already, is a bit sort of scattered. I can't remember. She was really old, I think, a lot older than him, and he was younger and rich. I may have this the wrong way around. And she died, and everybody thought that he was after her money. They were always on the beach, and I think these were the couple, I don't know if I've got this mixed up with the couple, who were very, 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 very brown. Really brown. And I know it was like before we had sun lotion, and people just assumed that it wasn't, honest God, it wasn't me. I was too young, that that's what that other person wanted. And then he committed suicide soon after she died, and everybody was really shocked. It feels honestly as if there could be differences here. You could almost look to outsiders very an unusual couple in some way, but it's like the feeling here is like, who cares? you've had, you've been through the mill, the pair of you. Doesn't matter on your age. Doesn't, your mill can be turning even if you're very young. You could have had a tough life, or they could have had a tough life when they were younger. You could have been in difficult relationships, or difficulty with your parents here. Possibly that Saturn feeling that we were talking about earlier could have come across in that way. But it feels as if this person is a balm to you. Really, it just feels lovely. It feels equal attraction, and it feels like it's bringing the best out of you. Right, I have talked to. Don't pick pile number 1 if you don't like me rambling, because I do honestly. I think I have more stories inside, so if you don't like that, you have to get 2 or 3. Okay, thank you very much for spending time with me, and good luck with that. It's lovely. Bye. Hi there, pile number Snail. I think this person has been brought into your life just from looking at the cards for a few seconds here, to do with self-expression, to do with expressing yourself, as Madonna would say. What is that song? Express yourself. Yeah, it is express yourself. I'm going to go through the cards and tell you why I'm thinking that. There's a feeling here of you being quite self-contained in a good way. There's a feeling here of possibly something happening in your life that may have taken you away from what I'm guessing a very stable inner feeling. This feels like somebody who's had a good start in life. This is you. Somebody who may love quite freely. Somebody who is open and honest, and I'm sensing fire. I'm sensing like a Venus fire feeling about you. And then you've got the Tower card here in the middle, which makes me think that you're almost with the Temperance here and the Princess of Cups. This person is coming to your life when something has happened that's got you off kilt in some way. Not that your whole life has been off kilt. This feels like the last one was like a real balm for the soul, in a way that it felt as if this person had a difficult, you both may have had in the past part a difficult upbringing, or something hard that made you feel a little bit unloved, like Saturn contacts. This has a feeling that you genuinely a good start, and then tripped up in some way, and then here they come, and it just feels, and the word I'm thinking of is sweet. It feels really sweet. You're coming across here as the Ace of Cups. So that somebody who, and you've got the Ace of Wands and the Three of Wands behind. And this Three of Wands is slightly different. To me, that gives it more of an emotional tinge because of the heart and the flower. And the Ace of Cups here. I think you're somebody that likes falling in love. You may have 5th house planets that are quite important in your chart. You may just be somebody who is one of life's givers. Somebody who is bright. I'm thinking of the word bright because we went to, one of those like horrendous holidays you have when you're young and you haven't got any money, and you get in there by train, and you're in Italy and the trains don't run. Of getting to this hotel in Sicily, Capitolando in Sicily, and we were just almost begging for this person to let us in because it was August and they were full, and he says, we're going to let you in because you're bright. I don't quite know what bright meant, but it's always stuck in my head. I don't know if he meant the fact that our hair was bright, or I have no idea. It's probably died at that time. But there's a feeling of you being a solar bulb, somebody that gives out from inside yourself to others, and you do it naturally. It's not something that you have to think about with the Ace of Wands here and the Ace of Cups. You're a self-starter. You don't wait around for other people to tell you what to do. You've just got big heart, and you're not afraid to show it. This does have a feeling, and you've got the 3rd house up here and the 2 of Pentacles for them. So it could be somebody who comes in and out of your life quite a lot, and somebody who you communicate with. But there's a feeling here, because you're coming across here as why this person's come into your life. The Strength, the 2 of Cups, and the 8 of Wands. There is something about communication. So I don't know whether this Tower card over the 8 of Pentacles, which makes me think of a man or a woman who's very self-contained and happy with themselves, with a good backdrop or a good upbringing. And then you've got the Tower card here. So maybe something's taken the wind out of your sails. And this person comes along very steady, very controlled, very much just so. And you, to me, feel as if you're more the exuberant character. But there's something in this person's, with the Temperance card here and the King of Pentacles, there's something in this man or woman's demeanour that is very attractive to you. It's just at the right time. It's when you're basically, your nerves are, you're up in the air. Your nerves feel a bit jingly. I can't really think of a way to say that. And the Princess of Cups here is that there's the Two of Pentacles here, the Princess of Cups, is like somebody that comes into your life and smooths you out, but it's not too much. It doesn't feel like, you know, a rampant affair, this one. It feels like somebody who you have repeated contact with and they just feels good. It feels like, you know, when somebody comes into the room, it makes your heart leap and you want to be closer to them. You may not be, you know, it may not be a huge event, but it's just makes you smile when they've gone, and vice versa. So this person has come into your life to almost like, it is a feeling of warm running water to get you, you know, to revitalize you in some way. It's like, you know, it's like, you know, when you get cold and you get cold in your bones, as your mum would say, and you get into a warm bath. It's like you start almost coming to life again. And the Ten of Cups here, could actually, sorry, before I go to Ten of Cups, Hopes and Fears, Ten of Swords, behind Three of Wands. You know, there is a slight feeling here, and because this has a relationship feel, that you may have been let down in relationships before, but I don't think, this isn't a card of somebody that carries that around inside them. This isn't a card of somebody that's internally bruised from the way that a relationship or a situation has fallen apart. This to me speaks of somebody who has an inner confidence and quite a resilient attitude to life and how to basically deal with life's ups and downs. And that possibly, you know, oftentimes it's a lot to do with, no, actually that's not true. I was going to say it's a lot to do with good parenting, but I don't actually think that is true. I don't really know. But there's a feeling here of you being all together. This person being very smooth, coming into your life, making you feel good, makes you feel like you've met that soulmate that, you know, is like a reflection of, a bit like pile number one, a reflection of yourself. And the Ten of Cups to me speaks to me of, with these cards down here, it's like you learning to express who you are openly in a love relationship. But it feels the Ten of Cups at the end that, you know, this relationship may have wheels. Is that a term? I just made that up. Is that a term? I'm trying to say this relationship could go somewhere. I quite like this relationship may have wheels, but I'm not really sure what it means. You've got the Knight of Pentacles here, and they've got the Two of Pentacles up here. So it feels like, and the third house, it's like you come into contact quite often, and it's not gushing, it's controlled. It feels as if there's like exchanges that, as I said, you just basically, it's like flirting that other people can overhear and not really know it's going on. You know, it's subtle, it's sweet, and it's giving. And I think that's something you're good at, to be honest, because you've got too many aces here. You know, and with the Three of Wands, with the flower opening in the heart, you probably make this person feel good. So this person, you know, with these strength, this soulmate, and this quick communication, I wonder whether there's a very, very sweet feeling of somebody who is letting you express your beauty in snippets. And it also feels as if it could be an accumulation of emotions that could move somewhere else. But it feels to me, with the Pentacle card slow moving, with the Temperance card, it's not a I'm going to think of the word rampant. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one. It doesn't feel like one of those rampant affairs that are drama filled. To me, it feels sweet. the Temperance card there, everything's easy. You know, the Temperance card at the top here, you know, these are the cards that you should be looking at for the answer. Is with the Two of Pentacles there, where it's going backwards and forwards, a feeling of, you know, the tide. It's like the tide, it's building, and it grows into more love. You've got the Princess of Cups here, which when I'm looking at these Pentacle cards, it feels as if there's snippets of exchanges of information. Oh, so what? That's a shite. There's small love tokens exchanged, and the Ten of Cups, it has wheels. Really, really, really sweet pile of self-expression. Somebody that's coming into your life who you can trust, somebody who you can be yourself with, somebody who you can, you know, be gentle with, and vice versa. The Strength card there is like, you know, it doesn't make me feel like, you know, oftentimes I think of the Strength card in a situation where you're trying to hide passion. It almost feels like there's like a hose that's got holes in it and you're allowed to release it anyway. It doesn't feel like you're hiding anything in this pile, and it feels as if it's open and honest and genuine and sweet. And there's something in that, the way that you express that with this person, that is part of your growth and their growth. It's controlled, it's honest, it feels... I'm thinking of a word here. It's that respectful. It feels respectful. That's a really dry word. You know, it's one of those... It's almost like one of those feelings that make you cry. You know, if you've like... It's the type of person who waits out in the rain for you when they're going to pick you up from work and you're working really late. It's that type of feeling. And then you meet each other and kiss. It's that, you know, that sort of somebody who's prepared to put the effort in, and somebody who has genuine sweet feelings for you, and it could be going somewhere. Really, really nice. It's Al Pacino in... Oh, what film was he in? Colita's Way. When he's got a girlfriend, the girlfriend's a dancer, and he's watching... Yeah, this is what it makes me think of. He's watching her doing ballet, and he's been in jail for... I'm not saying this as if I know him and if it's really happened. And he's been in jail for a while, and he hasn't seen her, and he's watching her doing ballet through the window, and it's raining, and he's got not a saucepan lid on his head, a dustbin lid on his head, and she comes out and they haven't seen each other, and it's just that sort of sweet love that's prepared to wait and be nurtured and nurture each other. Right, okay, pile number 2. I'm going to go there. Lovely pile. You know, I'm not going to say any more, but that is really nice pile. I don't feel I'm doing it any justice you know, the way I express it, but it does honestly feel like it feels tender. It feels tender and genuine, and it feels like it's moving. Okay, bye pile number 2. I hope to see you again. Okay, pile house. This has a really, really strong, complicated feeling about it. The other 2 piles didn't. It has something to do with this person. They're in your life to help you through some sort of transition in some way. And I don't know whether it's an internal transition or whether it's physically moving from one point to another in your life, as in like moving house or moving from a relationship. You're coming across here as the Hangman. That makes me think that you are trying to understand a circumstance. You have, or some sort of circumstances. You've got the 8 of Cups in front of you, and they're coming across as the 8 of Cups here. There's something to do with difficulties and moving on. You've got the 10 of Swords up here as well, which is like the ending of a situation, and then that is capped then with the Strength card. So it's this person is here to teach you to transform in some way with dignity. This is what it feels like. Behind you've got the Fool and you've got the Queen of Wands. It feels like there's something has happened in the past that has caused you or has made you quite brave, that you're Because this Fool card is different because it's surrounded by sharks and it's something fresh. The Fool is quite a cool, cold energy, I always think. It does actually feel like it's not of this world. The Queen of Wands here is somebody that wants to get things started. It's like the beginning of a situation where you've got to have guts. And it feels like a hard situation because the beginning of your pile starts with the Five of Wands here, which to me, and especially with this card, is like conflict. It's like fighting. It's like you being, it does honestly feel like you're grating through life, or some situation in life is grating you. And then it's like ease and movement, and often, you know, there's still that feeling that this person, you're still reflecting on the past, but this person is pulling you through it. And I don't know whether it's something that's internal, whether you are just, I don't know how much your relationship is blossoming, or whether this person's just the thought of them being there is changing your perceptions on where you're going, if you know what I mean. All three piles have been a feeling that this person is somehow, the word I used in the last two piles was like a balm. It feels as if the person has been brought in to soothe you, but this is like soothing through a transition. Rather than just somebody, you know, may have had a difficult childhood. This is like something that is happening at the moment, that there's like big changes in your life. You know, moving on from something, either a relationship or a house or a situation, or possibly everything together. It's like you're going through some sort of transits that could be like Uranus or Pluto, and it feels as if everything's thrown up in the air. In comes this person. You know, you're trying to be brave, you're trying to get it together, you're very independent, you're still thinking about things that happened in the past, but what you're doing is you're actually moving on with, I'm guessing, some form of, dignity is the word I'm thinking here. It feels like this person could be good to talk to. It feels as if there could be some sort of, this isn't immediate. Apart from the Strength card, this isn't like sexy attraction. This is somebody solid who is sent at the right time. It's got like a lifesaver feel about it. You know, those sort of like, we used to have chewing gums called lifesavers. The Magician card is coming here. It's either they've come in to help you, or to be there, or to change your mindset in a very stagnant or a situation that has ended or is coming to some sort of end. They're helping you move on. They're helping you see there's different alternatives. So what I'm guessing you have thought is just basically you're the road that you're taking. It's like there are different roads to take. But unless you meet somebody that you may, you know, that you're attracted to, or that you respect, or somebody that feels right, you don't start stretching outside your boundaries. And we all have those set situations that we put ourselves into, and we think we are that. And then this person, it has a Uranus feel about it. The Magician isn't, but it does have that feeling of somebody that comes into your life and changes your perspective and makes you move on. It's like there are films of this feeling. Feels like you're holding on to something, like, when you're playing the dog and you've got a rope and you're pulling and pulling, the dog's pulling back. It feels like you're doing that. It honestly feels like you're pulling back and forward, and then this person comes into a room and laughs at you like, what you're doing, you let the rope go and the dog falls backwards. It feels like, why on earth was I doing that? Why was I playing that for 20 years? Why was I playing that for 15 years? It was painful. And this person is here to say, why are you doing that? But you're still almost reflecting from the past. This person's still trying to drag you forward. There may be also, with the Five of Pentacles here and the Fool card down here, of, by being with this, I keep saying this person, and it is this person. By being with this person, it may take you out of your normal group situation, whether it's friends or culture, or that could have Uranus feeling about it. It is beginning to feel like that. I'm so sorry, it takes me ages to sort of feel my way through the pack, and it may not come alive for everybody, but it starts feeling strange for me. And this could be a pile. It feels like you have a set group of friends or a family where there is a tradition in this family, whether it could be religious or just the way things are done. Then in comes another person who is sent to do this, that pulls you out of a situation that may feel uncomfortable, but at times have changed. It could be like you've accepted boundaries that don't suit your life anymore, but that your family may have followed them, so they feel right, and that's why it's uncomfortable to move on. You know, you could even have Aquarius in yourself where you start questioning what tradition, you know, what sort of boxes society has put us into. You know, often case it'll be the Aquarius that pushes that, and it does feel like that. And the Magician and the Mama of Buckets is this person may be doing it in a very loving way, but it's uncomfortable to you, but they're almost trying to pull you out of sticky toffee. And they're doing it with love, and that's why this person has been sent. And the Strength card here with moving away is, you know, it does feel as if this person has your best interests at heart, and they're trying to make you be more of yourself, but it feels as if it's uncomfortable, like you have to leave. You know, the Five of Pentacles here is being shut out, and the Fool card is the fresh new beginning. So there is a really strong feeling here, and you coming up as the Hangman of somebody that doesn't really want change, but it's being forced upon you in a very nice, attractive package. And you're coming up as the Queen of Wands down here, so you may actually be really drawn to this person if they feel different, because they feel exciting, and it doesn't feel, you know, you get this six of nothing, Eight of Cups card out, with, you know, these are the ones that you're looking for to actually answer your question, and that looks like ending of a situation, moving on, and then gaining strength from that movement or from that decision. But these two cards can look quite drastic on their own, but with this pile they don't to me feel drastic. It feels as, you know, that this flashing back of memories is like something you've left behind that needed to be left behind. And you're coming across here as the Nine of Pentacles. You're a strong person, and it's time, you know, it feels like it's time to change, but it does feel like you're leaving something behind that has been part of your life for a long time, and it could be just a mindset. Yeah, do you know what it feels like? Do you know when you like go to, let's say you're studying and you're in college, you're doing the same course, same group of people for a year or two, and then you go on holiday and you meet lots of different people, and you're totally brought out of your comfort zone, but it's pleasant. You know, you're enjoying yourself, and, you know, you've got like, you come back from your holiday with different clothes, you know, different tastes in music, a whole different, you know, group of friends, and you've put on 10 stone. I don't mean the 10 stone bit. That didn't mean that, honestly. It's just totally different feeling of being a different person. I just was flashing back to holiday memories where people say they spend, you know, like somewhere on a Greek island and can't fit their jeans on at the end of it. This has that feeling of a life-changing event, or this person changes your life in some way, but for the better and very subtly. It's like you start turning into someone else, and you turn your back on something that you've outgrown. And with the Strength card there, you know, ending, moving away, the Strength card there is you've thought about this a lot and you're ready, and you're going to do it with, I'm guessing, very polite goodbye. This person has changed your view of the world, and that's why they are in your life. And it's not drastic. This doesn't look like, you know, running away to have an affair. This feels like somebody who, I talked about this in the first pile, about somebody where there could be like North Node Sun contacts. There's a respect and there's growth here in this pile. And it feels like they're going to bring out some part of your nature, which you may express quite easily, but this person is going to help. You've got the Magician, you've got the Queen of Cups, you've got the Sister of Cups. There's a lot of feelings, and the Magician card there is almost rooting inside yourself to bring out your basic instincts. And if your basic instincts are to express your emotion, I tell you what I didn't put out for you. I need to finish my sentence there. Hold on. Yeah. The fourth house there came out, and I didn't put a house card out for you there, but all the way through there was a very strong possibility. I was thinking like arranged marriages, that type of feeling where your parents have an idea or somebody around you has an idea of how you're going to live your life. It's not that it's argued about so much, but it's just expectations. And it doesn't have to be parents, it could be best friends, it could be just people in your village. It's that feeling like you're moving on, and you're doing it in a very gentle way, and this person has opened your mind in some way. All right, I'm going to leave that there, pile number 3. I hope that feels right in some way, because it feels as if it feels like heaven sent in a very gentle way to make you realise what your next step is. And this person, it feels like, the old 6 of Cups in the Rider, not 6 of Cups, 6 of Swords, where there's somebody on a ferry, there's a child, and there's a female figure, and the person who you're asking about is actually the person that's doing the, what's that poking stick gondola bit? There's a word to it, I know. Yeah, they're basically poking the stick and gondoling for you. Gondoling. Okay, power number house. I'm going to leave you there with that. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Bye.